Welcome to all you Capricorns. Here's your monthly horoscope for Capricorn for April 2016. And let's have a look, because there are two very important things going on, namely two retrogrades. So there's a lot of retrogrades, and that always means a slowing down and a time for preparation for something better to come. And Saturn rules Capricorn does understand that normally very well, that in order to get something very interesting and to get something positive, we need to work towards that. And that's what Mars retrograde is all about. It's about working hard on something, and with two steps back, forwards and one step backwards. And this thing that we want, because that's Mars, is going to be given to us around August, September time. So is it a good time to start things? Yes, if you can start them around August and September, and now plan them towards that time to launch it. Now for you Capricorns, it is a bit different, because Mars is going retrograde in your 12th house. And it's going retrograde at the very point of a fixed star called Taurus. Now what is this all about? Mars is about action. It's about our drive. And the 12th house is a hidden house. It's where we are unconscious. So there are things, Mars in this case, that we don't know that is going on for us when it's in the 12th house. And the tricky thing is that other people do see it. So the 12th house is about your blind spots, and other people might spot it, but you are not spotting it, or you need to work a little bit harder to want to dig a bit deeper to understand what it is that sometimes is undermining you, or that is a blind spot of yours, that you are a bit of a... Mars in the 12th can be a bit of a sabotager, or how do they say that? And once you detect that, and what is probably going to happen with you, you are going to detect some blind spots. Isn't that interesting? Because a Capricorn wants to climb on that ladder, the social ladder. It wants to become better. It wants to grow. It wants to do that in a very responsible way. And it's like this is going on for you now, but it's going on for you a bit behind the scenes. So that's the 12th house. So Mars is our energy. And when it's in the 12th house, it's a bit hidden, and we are working on ourselves. That's a lot with Mars in the 12th house. We are working on ourselves. No one is seeing it, but we are doing the hard work. And now this fixed star Antares, what is this all about? The fixed star Antares is already about courage, and it's about strategy. It's a bit of a fixed star that is related to the military, that is related to... it conveys mental alertness. It's about strategic ability, as I said, and it's about courage at its best. At its worst, it's, war, you could say. So that fixed star is already associated with Mars and Jupiter. And now Mars is going there over that fixed star is a bit of a double whammy, that we are dealing here with courage at its best. So we want the best to happen, right? So it's better that we deal these blind spots with courage, that we want to face them. And I think Capricorn is really a sign that is very responsible. So it doesn't want to run away from its responsibilities, even if it's about, parts of yourself that you don't really like. This is a good time to battle your own battle about behavior patterns that are no longer suiting you. That's the 12th house. Patterns, it can be as simple as a bad behavior like smoking, for instance, and you want to especially together with it's about working on behavior that you don't like about yourself. That's basically it. But doing that in a courageous way. So don't doing that in a submissive way, or in a way that is too aggressive. No, you do that with a lot of integrity and a good intention. So Mars in Sagittarius is a Mars and is a drive that thinks about the ideal and that wants to do because of the higher collective. So there is this very inspirational Mars when it's in Sagittarius. But when it's on Taurus and when it's going backwards, it shows that it's better to be very strategic with the planning that you do in order for you to change some behavior of yourself. Be very strategic, be very Capricorn-like as well. So you do your planning, you write out the steps that you want to take, and you don't go too fast. And so because Mars retrograde means it's a thinking about our actions, it's a rethinking, reassessing of the actions that we do. So it's a rethinking about our intentions basically. And when the intentions are good and when they are for a higher purpose, then fantastic. When it's very done in a selfish way, then it's going to backfire. Because Mars here squares up to Neptune. And that means if you're only doing these changes for just yourself, it's going to backfire. So, but if you're going to do these changes in order for you to grow, in order for you to get the best version of you, and it will also benefit other people around you, then this is a very, very good transit. So that's one thing. The other thing that's a bit more buoyant here is the Mercury retrograde, because Mercury only goes retrograde at the very end of the month in Taurus, which is a fellow earth sign. So this is nice for you because it's in your 5th house of enjoyment, of pleasure, of romance, of children. So it's in very general, it's about how you express yourself. You as a Capricorn, how do you enjoy yourself? What do you do to enjoy yourself? And it's in Taurus. It's about the 5 senses. It's about the 5 senses. And having Mercury there, going retrograde at the very end of the month, shows that you're going to rethink maybe a hobby, maybe the way that you express yourself, maybe a romantic connection that you have with someone. Maybe you are going to adjust yourself a tiny little bit and make some changes there. This retrograde Mercury is going to aspect also in May, but in April, Mercury aspects very well Jupiter and Pluto. So this shows this is not going to be the toughest Mercury retrograde. Certainly not for you Capricorns, because this Mercury trines Pluto in your sign, which is you, so powerful enjoyment. And Jupiter in Virgo, which is your 9th house of the way that you think and your higher mind and your connection with the divine and maybe traveling even. And that is also in a trine, this Jupiter trining your Mercury. So it's through things going quite slowly when it comes to your hobbies, when it comes to maybe children, or when it comes to your creative projects. But at the same time, they have a lot of depth. They have a lot of expansive energy. So this is really good for you Capricorns. It shows that the things that you really do, or the things that maybe you're going to pick up a hobby that you used to do. Maybe not now in April, but maybe in May. And you're really, really going to enjoy that. It's a good time for it, actually. Or maybe you are going to change your connection with a child and improving it and making it more profound because of that and more meaningful. And you're going to want to make it more real because it's in Taurus. So this energy is in Taurus, the sign of reality. So this is a good energy, and especially with all those trines, so it's a good time for you to go to restaurants, to go to cinema, to enjoy. So having said that, I wish you all the best. Thank you very, very much for listening, you dear Capricorns, and see you next month. Bye-bye.